Oh, hello there. Yes, well, sauntering through into midweek. Hurrah for that. Yes, anyway, after Trumpian shindigs. Trump, yes, yes, doesn't know a lot about anything, but he has an encyclopedic knowledge of America's racial past. Odd that. Yes, anyway, things like democracy, dying with a bang, or indeed a whimper, and talking about things going with a bang and a whimper. Yeah, whimper first, I think, yes. Not very well noted by the media, but Andre Walker gave up his last show to that very small number of people. I think he gets about as many people watching him as I do watching me on a regular basis, but nevertheless, I'm sure he'll crop up again. After all, if you want somebody to parrot right-wing ideas, he's your man. Oh yes, and talking of your man, of course, yesterday, you banged up types, Tommy Robinson, who has pleaded guilty inevitably, and is going to be sent down inevitably, as it was always going to happen. Yes, which of course will upset all the people that find his views very, very positive. Of course they do. I wonder where all that money for his legal fees is going to go as he pleaded guilty. Maybe the tax person should look at that. Maybe, eh? Yes. Anyway, before we get on to the nitty and gritty and things of US elections, no, we're not going to. I'm just going to casually mention it. I thought from yesterday we'd have a look at this, which is one of those usual kind of Daily Telegraph pieces about teachers, which I always thoroughly enjoy because apparently teachers take more time off work than the average person. To which you have to say, oh, isn't that dreadful, isn't it? Aren't they lazy, work-shy gits and everything? But the thing that I'm always amazed about in my job is the way that everybody can tell me how blindingly lazy I am, how blindingly easy my job is, and how blindingly too much I get paid, and yet nobody wants to do it. It's slightly odd, that one, isn't it? Anyway, the Daily Telegraph had this particular one, revealed 14,000 teachers call in sick every day. We'll unpack that in a moment, but they altered the story somewhat, actually. I was going to flag this up yesterday in my thinking about things feed, and they've altered it. So instead of having loads and loads and loads of people from right-wing think tanks saying about how awful it is that there are such things as, somebody that works for the government, because we all know, like Elon Musk says, it's just a form of taxation, isn't it? Having things like schools or roads, yes. But yeah, I'm into actually having some teaching organisations, which alters the very nature of it in many, many ways. That won't stop, of course, all the usual suspects who just don't like anyone working for the government ever. Libertarians, astounding that they're everywhere, and yet you never actually meet one in real life, do you? No, they merely run things. They don't actually run anything you come in contact with in any real sense of the word. Anyway, for those of you that might be interested in, you can easily think as to why it is that teachers are taking more time off. I remember last time I actually worked in a school that I had to stick my hand up the way that I do when management were going on about the number of people that were taking time off, and I had to point out to them that if lots of people are taking time off work, that's kind of a management issue. It's not a people being gits issue. That went down like a lead balloon, like it would do everywhere else. But hey, I don't care. I just say these things. Anyway, yes, finally, the thing that's not really being sort of discussed at all, because we have a very shallow understanding in this country of politics generically, and particularly the idea of politics abroad, is that it's not just the US presidential race that's here. There's another looming problem, which is particularly a problem for the Republicans, because they will lose the House, they will lose Congress, which means that effectively, even if Donald Trump does become president, and it isn't in any way, shape or form likely, that he won't be allowed by Congress to pass anything. He will automatically be a dead duck president, which neatly sets up a whole constitutional crisis, which might well be what he and Elon Musk and all of the other fascinating ghouls that are planning to work for him are really after. Because the American Constitution, should you so desire to follow it, is very, very clear about checks and balances in a way that Britain certainly isn't. So if Congress doesn't go Republican at all, that's the end of it. As a representative democracy, that means that nothing will be able to be done by Donald Trump, which means that he will have to rule as he wants to by presidential decree and effectively try like an autocratic king to do what he wants to do. It will have no legitimacy in democratic terms at all, which of course is no problem for all of those people that really do want to see a particularly autocratic person as the president of the USA. But it sure as hell will be very, very problematic for the rest of them. And problematic for us, of course, because all of those people here that are desperate for Trump to win are also salivating at the idea of all the interesting things that they could do here by shifting the overturn window. Yes, very much so. People don't really understand the overturn window. It's actually named after a guy himself, Overton, who basically said that what you need to do is control the media and then you can basically shift public opinion. I'll leave you thinking about that in terms of Elon Musk and Twitter. Yes, all of those right-wing think tanks persuading you day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, that everything that comes out of Andre Walker's mouth is definitely true, and everything that teachers do is automatically very, very bad. Yes. Anyway, do have a lovely sort of trundling through the weekday. We will see. We will see what exciting things happen in the near future. But as we well know, we are definitely living interesting times.